So you've got that speech ready, and it's an important one. And you want to come across as charismatic, let's say. Why not? Swing for the fences. I'm going to give you 4 things to think about so that you can be charismatic in the moment when you actually give that speech. The first step to think about in your delivery is to be open. If you're not open with your audience, you will send out unconscious signals that are, of course, closed, and your audience will respond by closing down, and no communication will happen. So that's step 1, get open. What does that look like? Well, you don't want to put your hands in front of your torso. It's as simple as that. And that's really hard to resist because most of us want to defend ourselves when we're up there in front of an audience by clasping the hands nervously in front of our stomachs or folding our arms like this because it feels comfortable. You got to resist all that and instead stay open. So that's the first step. Because if you don't do that, nothing good will happen afterwards. The second step is to be connected. Once you and the audience are open with one another, then you can connect. And think about how you connect with somebody when you're just having a conversation with them. What do you do to say, this is really important? Well, you might raise the volume of your voice a little bit. You might lean toward them. You might even touch them on the arm. All of those kinds of things that you naturally do to connect with somebody are appropriate in giving a speech. So you might lean into the podium if you're standing behind the podium, or you might walk around, come out on the stage, and walk toward your audience so you're closing that distance. You're making a connection. So that's step 2, make a connection with your audience. Once you're open and connected, then you're ready for step 3. Then you're ready for passion. And the way to bring that across is to focus on what's really important about this speech and how do I feel about it? Am I excited? Am I angry? Do I really care about the people in the room? What's the central emotion that's animating me and the reason why I'm giving this speech? Focus on that. If you're open and connected, then you can be passionate. But if you haven't done the work of getting open and getting connected, then nobody's going to want to hear your passion. You'll be like one of those crazy people that walks down the street in New York City, you know, the ones with the funny hair and the bad clothing and the smell, who grab you by the arm and say, the end of the world is coming. What do you do when that happens? You leap back, right? Or you call a policeman, but you get out of there. Because that person has got plenty of passion, but you haven't established openness with them and you haven't established a connection. So that's what you need to do when you're giving a speech, is get open and connected first. Then you can be passionate, and that's the beginning of charisma. The rest of charisma is listening. Now, this might sound funny. You say, wait a minute, I'm the one who's supposed to be giving the speech. Why should I be listening to the audience? But every communication is two-way. And if you don't listen to that audience just as hard as they're listening to you, in the end, they're going to think you're not sincere about it. So it's your job to listen to them. And when you listen, listen with your whole body. Pay attention to them. That means every now and then in the speech, pause, stop, hold still, plant your feet, and just listen to the audience. Look at it. See how it's doing. You'll be in adrenaline time. You'll be all jazzed up. So you'll be very good at doing this because you'll be incredibly alert. And that's the 4th step. And if you can do that, if you can be open, connected, passionate, and you can listen to your audience, then you can be a charismatic, effective speaker.